My name is Egon Loke. I'm head of corporate IT services at the Technical University of Denmark. We're a company, an organization of about 6,000 employees. We are about 2,000 scientists, 2,500 administrative and technical personnel. Our organization consists of 20 to 25 units of maybe 200 to 400 people each. So we're basically a conglomeration of a lot of different companies with different domains, technical sciences.
Isn't there a built-in challenge by the fact that you're so siloed in your organization?
Of course. I mean, our organization is very diverse, a lot of different types of people, different cultures, which means they work in very different ways. Right now, every unit has its own administrative processes, or a lot of administrative processes look alike. And what we want to do is digitize them, automate them, centralize them, maybe even standardize them.
So what is it you have created here?
I use the CRM platform as a process digitizer. It's an umbrella to binding our processes together. CRM as a sales solution is not very typical for a university to look at. And I participated in a workshop at Microsoft Denmark. And there I, with my own hands, could build a onboarding process within 2 hours. And if I could do that as a relative non-technical person within 2 hours, then a lot of processes could be customized like that and built. So that really turned me on. I mean, that's something that we as IT people live for, seeing something that is so flexible and robust that we can implement it very quickly. It's a product which integrates well with our other solutions, also from Microsoft, SharePoint, for example. I have a team of SharePoint specialists, and I found out that having SharePoint specialists and CRM specialists, it works very well together.
This is a university of thousands of students, projects and scientists. Why is agility so important for you?
This organization is not fixed and then there's a standardized process for the next 100 years. It's more the next month, and then another request for change is coming in. And that's why I need to be able to support all of that. So for me, CRM gives me that flexibility, this agility, that if there's a new organization or a new process, I can implement it quite quickly. Actually, I just had an example of this project we talked about before, that we were ready, we had implemented the project, but suddenly some person in the board wanted to change a process. And normally I would have to postpone the project maybe 2 months, but because it was built in CRM, we could just switch off the process and change it, and then within 1 day we were running again.
What are the advantages of using a predefined platform rather than building it by yourself all the time?
Implementation speed. We were surprised how fast we can implement proof of concepts, where before it might take a few months before we had the first version of a solution. Now we can do it within days, maybe a week.
Can you give me an example of one of the changed business processes?
We have an alumni office, which is dealing with a lot of alumni, old students, and we have events and we want to market them to them. And before we used a lot of Excel spreadsheets, and it would take a lot of time, manual processes. Right now, because we use the CRM platform, we automatically collect data. They interact directly with the system, which makes retrieving reports and segmenting alumni populations a breeze, so it takes seconds.
You have an ambition about being one of the best universities in the world. Why are streamlined processes important for you?
We want our excellent researchers and students to do that what they're best at. And that's research, that's innovation, that's education. And we want to let them use as little time as possible on administrative processes so they can focus on that. So if I, as an IT person, IT organization, can provide that, optimal processes, optimal support of processes, then that's what will be a world-class university.
What is your perspective on the future possibilities of this platform?
Personally, I think 90% of all our process digitizations can be solved with this tool. That will free up resources to focus on that what we are best at, and that's research and education innovation. It's not the implementation of the system or the customization of the platform that is a time issue. It's actually thinking the whole thing through. It's an organizational change that takes time. It's not the technical implementation.
It's been really interesting to hear about all the stuff that you're doing. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.